Opening scene. The year is 2387. Commander Jake Morrison stands on the bridge of humanity's first interstellar vessel, the Pioneer's Edge. Earth has been broadcasting into space for centuries, but the galaxy has remained silent, unknown to humans. They are being watched. The Galactic Council deep in the Andromeda sector. The Galactic Council convenes. Representatives from 12 major species gather in their Crystal Spire station. The blue-skinned Altari speak first through their leader, High Counselor Vex. The insectoid hive queen, Zix, clicks her approval. The crystalline beings called the Primes hum in harmony. The humans of Earth continue their primitive expansion, Vex announces. They have barely left their solar system. The Council reviews Earth's profile on their holographic displays. Population 8 billion. Technology level, barely achieving faster than light travel. Military capability, laughably weak. Resources, limited to one star system. They are beneath our notice, declares General Kron of the warrior race known as the Iron Claws. His metallic scales gleam under the station's lights. Let them play with their small ships. Earth's first contact. Meanwhile, Jake's ship encounters something extraordinary near Proxima Centauri. A massive alien structure, clearly artificial, orbits the star. It's beautiful, made of materials that seem to bend light itself. This is incredible, whispers Dr. Lisa Park, the mission's lead scientist. The energy readings are off the charts. As they approach, automated systems activate. A beam scans their ship, collecting data about human technology, biology, and culture. The information travels instantly across the galaxy to the Council's databases. The dismissal back at the Council chamber. The new data appears. The analysis is swift and brutal. Weak bones, short lifespans, limited mental processing, reads Counselor Vex. They cannot survive in most galactic environments without artificial support. Their weapons are kinetic-based, practically Stone Age technology. The Hive Queen's mandibles click in amusement. They still use chemical rockets for basic transportation. How quaint. The crystalline primes resonate with disdain. Their mathematics are elementary. They have not even discovered dimensional folding. A vote is called. Should humanity be contacted and invited to join galactic civilization? The result is unanimous. No. File them under primitive species. Monitor only, orders Vex. Check back in 1,000 years. Maybe they will have evolved by then. Human determination, noon aware of this cosmic dismissal, Jake and his crew continue exploring. They find more. Structures ancient, abandoned, clearly built by multiple species working together. Someone was here, Lisa observes, running her scanners over alien hieroglyphs. Multiple someones. This wasn't built by one race. Jake nods grimly. Which means we're not alone, and they're more advanced than us. Back on Earth, news of the discoveries spreads like wildfire. Governments unite with unprecedented speed. If aliens exist, and they're more advanced, humanity needs to catch up, fast. The human response within months. Earth's greatest minds are working together. The Global Science Initiative launches with unlimited funding. Dr. Alex Chen leads the Physics Division. Engineer Maria Santos heads the technology development. Military strategist Colonel Tom Roberts plans Earth's defense. We've been playing catch-up since we first looked at the stars, Tom tells the assembled leaders. But humans have one thing these aliens might not expect. What's that? Asks President Williams. Tom's expression is grim but determined. We're stubborn. When someone tells us we can't do something, we do it anyway. The first breakthrough bar, Chun's team discovers something the aliens missed in their analysis. Human brain patterns are unique, chaotic, unpredictable, but incredibly adaptable. While other species think in logical, predictable ways, humans think laterally, creatively. We don't just solve problems, Chen explains to his team. We find solutions no one else would even consider. Setting the stage, Jazz Part 1 closes, two paths diverge. The Galactic Council continues its business, dismissing Earth as irrelevant. They focus on their trade disputes, territorial conflicts, and complex politics, never imagining that the ignored species might become their greatest threat on Earth. Humanity begins its greatest undertaking. They don't know they've been judged and found wanting. They don't know they're considered too primitive to matter, but they're about to prove that underestimating humans is the galaxy's first mistake. The stage is set for humanity's rise from ignored, backwater species to the galaxy's most dangerous force. 5 years later, Earth has transformed. The global science initiative's headquarters in Switzerland looks more like an alien structure than a human building. Curved walls house laboratories where the laws of physics are being rewritten daily. Dr. Chen stands before a massive holographic display showing their latest breakthrough. We've cracked dimensional folding, he announces to the gathered scientists. Not the way the aliens did it our way. While other species use mathematical precision to fold space, humans discovered something different. They use quantum uncertainty, making space itself forget the distance between 2 points. It's chaotic, unpredictable, and should be impossible. But it works. The alien oversights the Galactic Council's monitoring station near Earth's solar system is automated. Every year, it dutifully reports. Humans remain primitive. No significant advancement detected. But the station only looks for known technologies. It doesn't recognize human innovations because they work on completely different principles. Supervisor Grak, a lizard-like being from the Scales Empire, glances at the report and files it away. Still playing with chemical rockets, he mutters. Pathetic. He doesn't notice the anomalous readings his sensors can't categorize. The station's computer, programmed to recognize standard galactic technology, dismisses human achievements as sensor errors or natural phenomena. Human innovation explodes. Maria Santos presents her latest creation to Earth's Defense Council. We call it the Chaos Drive, she explains, gesturing to an engine that seems to shift and blur at the edges. It doesn't follow normal physics. Argues with them. The engine works by creating controlled instabilities in space-time, where alien engines require perfect calculations and precise energy outputs. The Chaos Drive thrives on uncertainty. The more chaotic the conditions, the faster it goes. It's like the difference between a surgeon's scalpel and a sledgehammer, explains Colonel Roberts. Both can break things, but in very different ways. The first fleet Earth's first combat vessels emerge from hidden shipyards on the far side of the moon. They look nothing like the sleek, elegant ships of galactic civilization. Human ships are angular, aggressive, covered in weapons that shouldn't work but do. Captain Rick Johnson commands the flagship Defiance, unlike alien vessels that rely on energy shields and precision weapons. Human ships use kinetic barriers, literally throwing matter at incoming attacks, and weapons that fire modified asteroids at near-light speed. Sir, reports Lieutenant Amy Foster from the weapons station, the aliens use plasma that dissipates over distance. We use solid projectiles that hit harder the farther they travel. Rick nods approvingly. Sometimes the old ways are the best. ways. The test mission humanity's first target isn't the Galactic Council. It's one of their automated research stations studying a dead world in the Kepler system. The station is heavily shielded and defended, considered impregnable by galactic standards. The human fleet arrives using their chaos drives, appearing seemingly at random around the station. The automated defenses activate, firing precise energy beams at predicted locations. But human ships don't follow predictable patterns. They move erratically, chaotically, making calculations impossible. Evasive maneuvers, orders Captain Johnson. Pattern Omega-7. Pattern Omega-7 has no pattern at all. Each ship moves according to its captain's instincts, creating a dance of controlled chaos that alien computers cannot predict or counter. The impossible. Victory. The research station shields are designed to deflect energy weapons and deflect incoming missiles. They are not designed to handle projectiles that phase in and out of normal space, or weapons that somehow get more powerful when they miss their target. Human missed shots don't disappear, they loop through folded space to attack from different angles. Kinetic rounds ricochet off gravitational fields to hit weak points. Nothing behaves as it should. Within an hour, the impregnable station is disabled. Human boarding parties, wearing armor that adapts rather than protects, swarm through. The wreckage, the intelligence, Goldmine Park, now serving as the fleet's xenobiologist, examines the captured technology. "This is incredible," she breathes. "They build everything to last forever, to be perfectly efficient." "What's wrong with that?" asks Captain Johnson. "Nothing, except it makes them predictable. Every alien race in the galaxy builds the same way, mathematically perfect, completely logical." She grins. "They're going to have no idea how to fight us." The galaxy takes notice deep in space. The first reports reach galactic authorities. A research station has gone dark. Initial investigation suggests equipment failure till they find human technology mixed with the wreckage. High Counselor Vex examines the evidence with growing alarm. "This is impossible. The humans don't have this capability." "Perhaps they traded for it," suggests the Hive Queen. 6 months after first contact, the galactic situation has changed dramatically. What started as isolated incidents has become a pattern of impossible victories. Human fleets appear where they shouldn't be, defeat forces they shouldn't be able to defeat, and disappear before reinforcements arrive. Admiral Kate Morrison Jake's sister commands the growing Earth fleet from the new mobile command ship Prometheus. Unlike alien command vessels that stay safely behind the lines, human command ships lead from the front. "Ma'am," reports Communications Officer Dan Walsh, "we're receiving surrender requests from 3 more systems. They want to negotiate before we arrive." Kate studies the holographic star map. Red markers show human-controlled space, already 50 systems strong. Yellow markers indicate worlds requesting protection from human raiders. "They still don't understand," Kate observes. "We're not raiders, we're revolutionaries." The Galactic Council and crisis emergency sessions have become routine in the Crystal Spire station. Representatives from dozen species argue loudly while holographic displays show the impossible spread of human influence. "They're using some kind of unknown technology," insists General Kron of the Iron Claws. His usual confidence has evaporated. "My fleets are being defeated by inferior numbers." Counselor Vex examines battle recordings with growing disbelief. "Their ships phase through our shields, their weapons ignore our armor, and their tactics make no strategic sense." The Hive Queen's mandibles clicked nervously. We've intercepted their communications. They call their strategy organized chaos. The concept doesn't translate into any known language. Human philosophy of war on Earth. Military academies now teach courses that would seem insane to alien strategists. Professor Williams, formerly Colonel Roberts, addresses his students. Alien warfare is like chess, he explains. Every piece has defined moves. Every strategy follows logical patterns. They fight to minimize losses and maximize efficiency. He points to a holographic battle display. Human warfare is like jazz. We improvise, we adapt, we make it up as we go along. When they expect us to retreat, we attack. When they prepare for attack, we negotiate. When they think they understand us, we change the rules. Student Officer Lisa Chang raises her hand. Sir, doesn't that make us unpredictable to ourselves as well? Williams grins. Exactly, that's what makes it work. The Liberation Campaign, human forces don't conquer, they liberate. When they arrive at a new system, they don't demand surrender. Instead, they offer choice. Captain Steve Parker commands the diplomatic vessel Freedom's Call. He sits across from Governor Yox of the Altari colony world Kepler 4, for to be. We're not here to rule you, Steve explains through universal translators. We're here to offer you independence from the Council's control. Governor Yux's blue skin shows confusion patterns. Independence. But the Council provides protection, resources, guidance. Without them, we would collapse. Would you? Steve asks. Or have they just convinced you that you need them? The seeds of rebellion human ideas spread faster than human fleets. Concepts like individual freedom, creative problem-solving, and questioning authority are completely alien to most galactic species and incredibly appealing. On the mining world, Tau Ceti Prime, worker drone 447, formerly known as Klex, before the Council assigned him a number, listens to pirate broadcasts. From human space, every being has the right to choose their own path. The human voice says, you are not property. You are not a resource. You are an individual with inherent worth. Drone 447 stops working for the first time in his adult life. The concept of choice real, choice fills his mind with possibilities he never imagined. The Council's counter-strike at desperate times call for desperate measures. The Council authorizes the release of the Void Fleet, ships and weapons that have been sealed away for millennia because they were considered too destructive for civilized warfare. Admiral Zeth of the extinct warrior race, called the Dark Stars, commands the Void Fleet. His species was wiped out long ago, but their weapons technology lives on in automated ships that think like their creators. The humans will face the fury of the void itself, Zeth's programmed consciousness declares. They cannot chaos their way through pure destruction. The Battle of Wolf 359, the human Third Fleet, commanded by Commodore Jack Reynolds, faces the Void Fleet in the Wolf 359 system. It should be humanity's first major defeat. The alien ships are twice as powerful and 3 times as numerous. But humans have learned something the Council hasn't considered. Sometimes the best strategy is no strategy at all. All ships execute plan random, orders Reynolds. There is no plan random. Each captain interprets the order differently. Some ships attack head-on, others retreat to flanking positions. Still others begin broadcasting surrender messages while charging their weapons. The Void Fleet's tactical computers cannot process the contradictory information. Ships designed to counter logical strategies malfunction when faced with pure chaos. The impossible outcome within hours. The legendary Void fleet is destroyed, not through superior firepower or better technology, but through sheer unpredictability. The news spreads across the galaxy in minutes. Humans have defeated the Council's ultimate weapon using tactics that shouldn't exist. On 1,000 worlds, beings who never questioned their place in the cosmic order begin to wonder what else might be possible. Asterisk, the galactic uprising begins. News of the Void Fleet's destruction spreads like wildfire across Council space. On industrial world Vega Prime, millions of worker beings stop their production lines simultaneously. On agricultural planet Su, farming drones abandon their posts to gather in the capital city. The revolution isn't coordinated by human agents, it's inspired by human ideas that have taken root across the galaxy. Dr. Park, now Earth's chief xenosociologist, studies the reports. With amazement, they're not following our orders, she tells Admiral Morrison. They're following our example. On the bridge of Prometheus, Kate watches holographic displays showing uprisings on dozens of worlds. We gave them something the Council never did: permission to think for themselves. The Council's desperation and the Crystal Spire Station panic has replaced order. Species representatives shout accusations at each other while emergency alarms blare continuously. The humans have unleashed chaos across the galaxy, screams General Kron, his metallic scales showing stress fractures. Civilizations that stood for thousands of years are collapsing in months. High Counselor Vex tries to maintain control. We must respond with overwhelming force, crush the rebellions before they spread further. But the Hive Queen's compound eyes show deep concern. It may be too late. The humans haven't just defeated our fleets, they've infected our citizens with dangerous ideas. Human philosophy spreads. Captain Emma Davis commands the Liberation, humanity's first dedicated diplomacy vessel. She doesn't carry weapons. Her ship is equipped with broadcast arrays, cultural exchange facilities, and meeting spaces designed for dozens of alien species. On Rigel Station, she addresses a gathering of refugee leaders from 12 different worlds. The Council told you that order required submission, Emma explains. They said that peace meant silence. But humans know something different. True peace comes from the freedom to disagree, to innovate, to be wrong and try again. A crystalline being from the primes resonates with new harmonies. Your concept of creative conflict is ... intriguing. We were taught that disagreement meant destruction. Sometimes it does, Emma admits. But more often, it means growth. The formation of unlikely alliances. Species that hadn't communicated in centuries begin working together under human mediation. The aggressive Iron Claws discover they have much in common with the peaceful plant beings called the Green Communion. The logical primes find unexpected kinship with the emotional fire spirits known as the Flame Dancers. Commander Bob Chen, no relation to Dr. Alex Chen, facilitates these meetings from the diplomatic station Harmony. Humans aren't special because we're better, he explains to a mixed species council. We're special because we're different from each other, and we've learned to make that difference a strength. The Council's final gambit, faced with the collapse of their 1,000-year empire. The Council makes an unprecedented decision. They will unite their remaining forces for one massive assault on Earth itself. Cut off the head, and the body dies, declares Counselor Vex. Destroy Earth, and these rebellions will collapse without their inspiration. The combined fleet is enormous ships from every loyal world, carrying weapons that could crack planets. It's the largest military force ever assembled in galactic history. Admiral Zeren of the Loyalist forces studies the tactical displays. 2,000 ships against their home system. Even humans cannot chaos their way out of this. Earth's impossible. Defenses the Council fleet approaches. Earth seems helpless. The human navy numbers fewer than 200 ships, and most of the fleet is scattered across the galaxy supporting various liberation movements. But Admiral Morrison has learned something important about human nature. They fight hardest when defending their home. All Earth vessels return to Sol System immediately. She broadcasts on all channels. It's time to show them what humans do when someone threatens our family. The battle for Sol. The Council fleet enters human space expecting an easy victory. Instead, they find something unprecedented. A defense system built around the principle of controlled chaos. Human ships don't form battle lines, they swarm Earths. Orbital platforms don't fire in coordinated volleys each. One shoots independently, creating an unpredictable crossfire that enemy computers cannot calculate. But the real surprise comes from Earth itself. The planet launches millions of small craft fighters, shuttles, even converted civilian ships, Sol piloted by humans, who volunteer for what seems like a suicide mission. The swarm strategy. Each small craft carries a single weapon, a quantum disruptor that phases matter in and out of normal space. Individually, they're harmless to capital ships, but in coordinated swarms of thousands, they create cascading failures in alien shields and armor. "This is impossible," screams Admiral Zeren as his flagship's shields collapse under assault from what appear to be maintenance shuttles. These aren't military vessels. Captain Johnson, now commanding the defense of Earth from his upgraded Defiance, responds over open channels. "You're right. They're not military. They're parents protecting their children. They're farmers defending their crops. They're teachers safeguarding their students. And that makes them more dangerous than any soldier." The turning pointers. The battle rages. Something unprecedented happens. Alien ships in the Council fleet begin switching sides. Crews who joined reluctantly suddenly see human civilians, risking everything for freedom, and realize they're fighting for the wrong cause. The revolution has reached even the Council's own forces. The final confrontation. High Counselor Vex stands on the bridge of the Council's last remaining super-dreadnought, the Eternal Order. Around him, his 1,000-year empire burns. Half his fleet has defected to the human cause, and the other half is being systematically destroyed by tactics that shouldn't work but do. "All ships target Earth directly," he orders desperately. "If we cannot rule the galaxy, we'll ensure no one else can either." The massive ship's planet-killing weapon begins to charge a concentrated beam capable of igniting Earth's atmosphere and ending human civilization forever. Humanity's final gambit. Admiral Kate Morrison watches the enemy weapon charging from the bridge of Prometheus. Her ship is badly damaged, most of her fleet scattered or destroyed, but humanity has one last surprise. Dr. Chen, is the paradox generator ready? She asks. Dr. Alex Chen, now gray-haired but still brilliant, nods grimly. It's never been tested. At this scale, the theoretical calculations suggest it might work, or it might tear apart local spacetime. Kate smiles. Sounds like a typically human solution. Do it. The paradox weapon. Human scientists have created something that violates every known law of physics. A weapon that becomes more powerful the more impossible its victory seems. Fed by quantum uncertainty and powered by human stubbornness, it exists by refusing to accept that it cannot exist. As the Council's planet killer charges, The paradox generator activates. Reality itself seems to hiccup. The alien weapon, designed with perfect mathematical precision, cannot function in an environment where mathematics have become suggestions rather than laws. The Council's collapse. Vex watches in horror as his ultimate weapon simply stops working. Not destroyed, not disabled, just ceases to function, as if the universe has decided his victory is too improbable to allow. "This is not possible," he whispers. "Physics don't work this way." Through his communication system, Admiral Morrison's voice replies, "Physics are suggestions. Humans are stubborn. We've been ignoring impossible odds since we first looked at the stars." The surrender, the eternal order drifts powerless in space, its weapons offline, its shields failed. Vex realizes that continuing the fight will only lead to more meaningless death. "I surrender," he transmits to the human fleet. The Council yields to your superior... chaos. Kate accepts the surrender with typical human pragmatism. "We don't want your submission, Counselor. We want your participation. Help us build something better." The new Galactic Order 6, months later. The first Galactic Assembly convenes not in the crystal spire of the old Council, but in a converted asteroid station orbiting Earth. Representatives from hundreds of worlds gather, but not as rulers and subjects. They come as equals. Captain Emma Davis, now Earth's first galactic ambassador, addresses the assembly. "We're not here to replace one empire with another. We're here to prove that beings can govern themselves without masters." The old species learn human concepts like democracy, individual rights, and the freedom to disagree. It's chaotic, sometimes, inefficient, but it's also vibrant in ways the old order never was. Individual liberation across the galaxy. Beings discover the power of individual choice. Drone 447, the former mining worker, now calls himself Klex again and leads a cooperative of free miners on Tau Ceti Prime. The crystalline primes create new harmonies that would have been forbidden under Council rule. Even the warrior Iron Claws find purpose as protectors of the weak rather than enforcers of order. Dr. Park, studying the social transformation, reports to Earth, "We didn't just defeat an empire, we liberated an entire galaxy's potential. Beings who spent centuries following orders are now creating art, exploring philosophy, and asking questions that were never allowed before. The continuing journey, the galaxy is not perfect under human influence, it's better than perfect. It's alive with possibility, messy with creativity, dangerous with freedom. Some worlds fail and rebuild. Others discover talents they never knew they possessed." Admiral Morrison, now head of the Galactic Defense Force, watches new human ships launching from Earth's expanded orbital shipyards. These vessels carry mixed crews of dozens of species, all working together despite their differences or, perhaps because of them. "Where do we explore next?" asks her new first officer, a converted Iron Claw named Valor. Kate points to the holographic star charts, showing unexplored regions beyond. "The galaxy's edge?" "Everywhere," she says simply. "The universe is vast, and humans have always been curious about what's over the next hill." The legacy history will record that humanity defeated the Galactic Council through superior technology and tactics. But the real victory was simpler. Humans taught the galaxy that being different wasn't a weakness to be corrected, but a strength to be celebrated. As Earth's children, both human and alien, spread across the stars, they carry with them the most dangerous idea ever conceived, that any being, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant, can change the universe simply by refusing to accept that change is impossible. the galaxy had ignored. Earth because humans seemed weak and chaotic. They were right about the chaos. They were catastrophically wrong about the weakness.